second, then are these tires the right choice? That I can't say, because they could actually be. These are very lightweight. They're not your standard off-the-shelf touring tires with a heavy, thick wall to them. These are performance-based tires. So I want to make sure I emphasize that, because I think some people might think what I'm showing here are touring tires. These are supple performance tires, and I think they would do the best on mainly a randonneuring event, or a gravel race perhaps, or even a road race. I could think of some courses where I would use this brand of tire for those courses in my area, because we do have a lot of rough terrain here. So comfort, the biggest advantage, or the biggest reason why comfortable tires are even discussed in a performance setting, is because performance in your ability to produce watts for a continuous period of time depends on your fatigue. So if you are fatiguing due to absorbing road vibration because the tires you're riding are too hard and too small, you will fatigue sooner than somebody, the same person, let's just say the same person would fatigue with a tire that is more supple and more forgiving, because those road vibrations are not going to be affecting you as much. So that is also something to keep in mind. And if you don't believe in these types of things, just look at what testing the professionals are going through. They look at whether or not they should shove an ice bag in the back of their jersey while they're climbing on a hot day. They look at any possible little advantage, and I'd say that bicycle vibration, road vibration, is a big key to whether or not you could be gaining those marginal gains. So yeah. But for me personally, since I'm not in a racing capacity, I use these tires for training rides and for comfort and for long distance endurance rides that I enjoy doing on my own. If I were to do a long event, I would definitely choose these tires, because I think for a long event, the best thing you can do is limit the amount of fatigue you're getting from the road. Okay, so that covers the comfort. I've covered puncture resistance. Now let's talk a little bit about durability. So with any high performance tire, you will sacrifice long-term durability. I put 2,500 miles on the front tire, and I have about maybe 400 or 500 miles on the rear tire. I replaced the rear tire first, which I would normally use. I would normally take the front tire and put it on the back and put the new front tire on the front. But in this case, this front tire and the rear tire were the lightweight casings, and I've decided to go to the standard weight casings. They're a little less expensive, and because you can adjust your tire pressure to whatever fits you the best, the sidewall thickness to me is getting into the point where unless I was racing, I wouldn't need that tire. So for a racing event, I might choose the light weights versus the normal weights. But since I do mostly training rides and rides to the hardware store and grocery store and stuff like that, I don't need to have racing tires on. So eventually I will replace the front tire with a brand new standard wall. But because this is in still good shape, I'm going to use it until it needs to be replaced, and there's still plenty of file tread on it, so it's still holding up just fine. I'm going to guess maybe 3,000 miles or even 3,500 miles on the front tire. We will find out. Okay, what else? So diameter, I've covered the diameter issues, I've covered the fender clearance issues, and I've covered puncture issues, I've covered the weight and rolling resistance. I don't know what the manufacturer's tested information is, but I can say from experience, these do not feel like I'm getting significantly more rolling resistance. If anything, I feel like it might even be slightly less rolling resistance. But if I were to get on this bike and go for a ride and then get right back on to my other bike with a different set of Continental tires on it, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the difference in rolling resistance is, because whatever it is, it's such a small difference that I can't pick it out. I think the best way to test this would be to use if you have a power meter, you could go out and do a series of really long rides where you could get kind of an average over many, many days. You might be able to see if there's a difference, but I doubt it's measurable. I don't think the tires making that much difference, even at a lower pressure, that you could even pick it up. I think in fact, I'll retract that statement. I'm sure the only way you're ever going to pick out the rolling resistance in terms of wattage would be on a isolated course, like an indoor track, where you can compare different tires and ride it without any wind conditions, without any environmental. You can eliminate all those variables. Without doing that, you'll never be able to pick up the noise in the data will be such that you will not be able to get the difference in tire rolling resistance. And you can look around on YouTube. There's been a lot of people that have tried, and the results are always the same. You can look at GCN, all those big, bike YouTube channels. They've tried, and they cannot definitively show that their rolling resistance is quantifiable on YouTube. So for the average rider, then none of that makes any difference. Then you should be buying tires that are comfortable. So I think that's gonna get it for my review of Compass tires. I would highly recommend a cyclist that has been using other road performance tires to give these a try. Everyone's gonna have their own preference when it comes to tires, but keep these tires in the back of your mind. The next time you need to replace a set of tires, give them a try. The only way you're going to know what works best for you is by trying different things. If you stick to the same things over and over again, you are potentially missing out on an opportunity to find something better. But there is the risk of buying something that doesn't work out, and it's hard to return a pair of tires that have been used. So, good luck. I hope you use something from this video. I hope you find it valuable to you, and we'll see you in the next one.